Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Yes, you've tuned into The Real Story. I am Daniel Hapney. What do we have for you tonight? I thought it was rather interesting as this police state grows in the United States, based on the false flag event we know as 9/11. I wanted you to wake up. I mean, especially for some of my viewers who grew up in Russia and understand what propaganda is, and let alone what a police state and, you know, the whole 9 yards, like the Stasi and all that. And for those of you who survived the Holocaust in Germany, and remember this, where, you know, people were, turned in. When I say turned into the Gestapo. It could even be a lie. And after a while, that's what the people that studied it said. They said, well, gee, you know, it wasn't about us, you know, getting people. It was about the guy down the street not liking the guy over there in the street and dropping a dime on him. So what do I have for you? Something rather interesting. I like to think of this as the, you know, the DHS, jawohl, police state, you know. How we can make informers out of all of you. That's right, you can rat on your neighbor, because this is America, where we rat on our neighbor and we practice it. So here what I have for you is a couple videos. We'll start off with the Department of Homeland Security now has one for you when you stay in a hotel. And I'm going to cut it so you don't see the whole thing, and you can go to their website and see it, but it's called No Reservations.
Terror attacks, why hotels overseas are the new targets, and who's behind the latest attack.
Chaos moments after the blasts, 2 explosions minutes apart. At least 8 people died. Several Americans were among the injured. Police said the blasts were inside the hotel's coffee shops during breakfast. This surveillance camera video shows the lobby just as the bomb exploded from the cafe. 2 suicide bombers had breached tight security by checking in as guests. Police say they based themselves in a room on the 18th floor of where the bombs were assembled and where one...
The threat is real. But many more attacks have been stopped, often because people like you noticed something unusual and took action. No security plans and procedures. If you witness suspicious behavior, listen to your instincts. Notify your manager, hotel security personnel, or the police.
A woman left a bag just outside the door, and it doesn't look like she's going to come back for it.
Hey boss, it's Dimitri. Yeah, listen, some shady guy just came into the back entrance.
We need to bring him somebody quickly. The room has all kind of stuff. It's very scary.
Hey, I've got an unattended vehicle out here. Yeah, the driver just walked off, and I don't think this guy's coming back. Can we get somebody out here to look at this?
You know what? You're right. Let's call this thing in.
You shouldn't investigate. You shouldn't intervene. But you can make a difference in keeping our hotels safe by reporting suspicious behavior.
Well, so now you know when you stay at a hotel, see something, say something. Remember, this is all going to come around. Maybe, like I say, for you elderly people who actually remember tyranny, and when tyranny visited the shores in different countries, or the, you know, land in different countries, you can see this coming around yet again. And here we go. Here's another one from the Department of Homeland Security. We have the police state one, you know, what's in store for all you mall shoppers?
Ordinary people can stop extraordinary events.
Oh, excuse me, security.
Hi, this is Phyllis at the information desk. This may be nothing, but...
There's this guy standing out there today, and he was taking down notes and looking at the cameras and stuff.
I think I just saw someone sneak in through the North Corridor exit.
Yeah, hi, is this the police? Yeah.
When you witness things like this, people leaving packages or bags behind, strangers taking photographs or video, drivers leaving vehicles in odd places, the temptation will be strong. You will want to ignore your instincts, turn away, assume someone else will act if necessary. But the threat is real. Report suspicious behavior. In stores, malls, shopping centers, town centers, and markets across America, we gather to shop, dine, and work. By staying aware and being willing to act, sometimes ordinary people can stop extraordinary events.
So that's right. You know, everybody's trying to blow you up at the mall. That's the fear you're supposed to have. Okay, let's follow it up with, you know, because we just had the Super Bowl. Let's go with, you know, public spaces.
Every day, millions of people attend sporting events, concerts and shows in large and small venues alike. And protecting our nation's public venues is of critical importance. What makes these venues great also makes them both a physical and psychological target for terrorists and people hoping to do harm to the American way of life. Keeping these venues safe takes a team effort, and you play a very important role on the team. Security may vary venue to venue and even event to event, but the people checking bags and collecting tickets are the country's first line of defense in protecting public gathering places. It's a responsibility that should not be taken lightly. Most bag checks today are conducted to prevent prohibited or illegal items from entering facilities. Obviously, this is very important. But there is also a third category of items that we need to be looking out for: suspicious items that could be used for making improvised explosive devices. Prohibited items are determined by the venue and may include things like alcohol, recording devices, umbrellas, noisemakers, knives, and guns. Illegal items are determined by the local, state, or federal government and include things like drugs or explosive devices. The third category, suspicious items, include things that seem out of place for the venue, like wire and batteries, items that are altered in some way, multiples of things like phones, walkie-talkies, or IDs, or oversized items that you can't access, as well as bags that have been altered or restitched in a way that might be hiding something. Suspicious items could be a bomb, or are things that when paired with other items could become an improvised explosive device, or IED. Conducting a thorough bag check isn't difficult. You should make sure you have the right tools. DHS recommends setting up a table, having a flashlight, a wood stick like a paint stirrer, plastic gloves, a plastic bin to unload large items into, and markers and tape if your venue's policy requires people to check prohibited items, like pepper spray, at the door. Make sure you post signs and information about your intention to conduct a search. Patrons have the right to refuse a search, but you have the right to refuse entry. Clear communication with customers on tickets, signs, and websites will help make this process go smoothly. But most importantly, communicate security plans with your staff.
Be a young crowd, front door's priority, catch as much as we can, should be easy inside. Ross and I will be out front helping out with that. Searches are a full bag check, any baggy pockets, any coats, which is 70 degrees, so there won't be any, but not a full pat down, but a good standard check pocket search.
When you search a bag, you should run your hand over the bag. Does it feel like it should? Does it have unusual bulges or bumps in the lining? Put your hand under the bag. Check the weight. Does it feel heavier than it looks? Check the outside zippers or pockets. Open the bag. To protect yourself from potential injury, use your stick to move items so you can see if there's anything hidden away. Does anything look or feel abnormal? Remove any large items and place them in a plastic bin. With your flashlight, open zippers. Have a look around. Make sure the inside of the bag looks like the inside of a bag should. Feel wallets. Check them if you feel it is necessary, or if you are suspicious for any reason. Open things like sunglass cases, containers, zipped bags, or makeup bags. Try and put things back in some kind of order. We understand time is of the essence when you are trying to move large crowds, but a good bag check can happen quickly.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I check your bag, please?
Yeah, sure.
And can you take these larger items out and put them in the bin for me?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Doing the bag check in a consistent, repeatable, clockwise order will help you conduct a thorough bag check. Bag after bag, patron after patron, and help keep our large and small venues safe.
All right, thanks so much. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Every venue, large or small, has its own security plan and procedures. Follow these procedures. Do bag checks whenever possible. Be on the lookout for suspicious behavior. Report it.
Security?
We all count on each other to do our part. Homeland Security is here to help. But we can't do it without people like you.
We must all be afraid and aware when we're at public spaces. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. More people die from insect bites than from terrorism. I know, hard to believe, right? But we've got to change the way we live, and you've got to learn to rat on your neighbor and spy on your neighbor, because more people die of insect bites. More people die of peanut allergies than die of terrorism. Now, they haven't made peanuts illegal that I know of, right? And they don't bring in the SWAT cars. But just so you know, keep it in perspective. Let alone when you study the terrorism, most terrorism is done by states. Why? To gain control. This is the oldest thing in the book. But anyway, here we go. You know, now we're getting acclimated to have people in our personals. You know, now you have to have your wife's genitals felt before she flies on an airplane. And remember, when you go to the airport, that's right, because you might be Al-Qaeda. Ha! Don't doubt it. This is what this is being created, and this is how they acclimate you or get you used to it, to the point where you probably don't know any difference. Here's something you're going to see on your telescreens at Walmart and at hotels and other venues. Here's Janet Napolitano.
Hi, I'm Janet Napolitano, Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Homeland Security begins with hometown security. That's why I'm pleased that Walmart is helping to make our communities more safe and secure. If you see something suspicious in the parking lot or in the store, say something immediately. Report suspicious activity to your local police or sheriff. If you need help, ask a Walmart manager for assistance. Thank you for doing your part to help keep our hometowns safe.
So, once again, now you're going to have Janet Napolitano telling you to spy on the people around you at Walmart. Because if you see something, you got to say something. Do you see how they're doing this? This is like, you know, when they bring the Hitler Youth back. I mean, spy on your neighbors. It's coming. So anyway, here's a little clip I want you to check. This is Paul Watson from InfoWars, and he does a really good job. You tell me what you think of the analogy.
You know, Emily Pankhurst, pick whoever you want. Did she write letters about the futility of attempting to change anything, or did she stand up and get the job done? You know, hiding out in your shack and claiming you're part of some militia, when in reality you spend your time on message boards attacking anyone that bothers to do something, just doesn't cut it anymore. People try to denigrate the simple action of this campaign and ones like it, like the Obama Joker campaign, which was a massive success, which is why the establishment had to demonize it to such a degree. The reason why this is important, I mean, why do you think Homeland Security feels the need to put up their posters, to put up their telescreens in Walmart and their messages with Janet Napolitano, Big Sis, telling us to live in a constant state of fear? Why do they do it? If it has no effect, why do they do it? Because it indoctrinates and coerces obedience from the general public. Our tactics are no different from Homeland Security. The only difference is that their method of indoctrination is fear. Our method of indoctrination is freedom and, you know, reasserting ourselves as free-thinking individuals who refuse to be cowed by fear.